guys, that's your coming at you today, Raid Shadow Legends. Welcome to the video. I'm glad to have you all here with me today. What could be better, guys? Talking some Raid Shadow Legends. Hey, you know what? Yesterday's video, I briefly mentioned that I got absurdly lucky. I opened one shard, one sacred shard, and I didn't record it, and I'm kicking myself. I need to record everything. I need to record everything. Why did I do it? I wanted to share that moment with you guys, but from one, all I had was one shard for the escalating event. I pulled it, and I actually got super lucky, and I got my hands on Wallmaster Othorion. So today I'm going to go ahead and show you how good this champion is. Right out the gate, I'm just going to tell you he's super, super good. Hey, I wanted to give a big shout out. I have to. I hate to mention this again because I'm not trying to like campaign here. I didn't even vote for myself. However, a lot of you guys are hitting me up. Roger O'Neill, you got my vote. Best of luck and keep content creating fun. Fan from Trinidad. Hey, shout out to all my Trinidadian viewers out there voting for me for Creator of the Year or whatever in the community awards. I have 32% at the time of his vote. I imagine Hades has like 65%. or more. I'm forecasting a second place finish for yours truly there, and honestly I'm flattered even to be in the conversation, truly. Anyway, back to Wallmaster. Why is this dude so good? He's a legendary attack. He looks awesome. I mean, yo, what up, Wallmaster? What up? How you feeling? How you living over there? Dude, I love his armor. Something about it. Something about the aesthetic, the colors, the robe, the purple. I don't know what it is, but I like it. I like it. On his A1, he's got Skyfall Arrow as an AoE attack. On his A1, will not trigger counterattacks, which is great, especially against like the Poison Spider, Doom Tower, right? Don't have to worry about those counterattacks, Curse City, whatever. Fills his champion's turn meter by 5% for each living enemy after the attack, so 20% turn meter fill against HYDRA clan boss, where this dude is a monster. I want to throw it to you guys. What do you think after watching this video? Let me know in the comments. At the end, tell me if you think he's a top, an S tier, a true S tier HYDRA clan boss champion. On the A2, another AoE, but it's an AoE ×2 hit, and it's an enemy max HP ability. It scales off of attack and enemy max HP. I will say though, multipliers from the AoE on the A1 are very weak, but it's still an AoE on the A1, right? On the A2 though, Falcon Shot, AoE ×2 hitter. First hit has a 100% chance of placing a block bust for 2 turns. Second hit, decrease attack for 2 turns. Fills his champion's turn meter by 5% for each living enemy after the attack again. So he's got this built-in take extra turn, well, not extra turns, extra turn meter. He does have an extra turn though on the A3. Forever Mark, he's bringing the increased attack, increased accuracy, and increased speed for 3 turns on a 4-turn cooldown, then grants himself an extra turn. Oh my god, this is a juicy kit, is it not? You can see the synergy here. First of all, he's getting turn meter fill, gets back to this ability, extra turn, leads into more turn meter fill, more turn meter fill. You know, you guys can see it really snowballs beautifully, so he's taking a ton of freaking turns, right? Forever Marked, specifically, like all these buffs are essential and awesome for this champion, right? But especially increased accuracy, I love. Because these 2 debuffs, block buffs and decrease attack, are 2 of the most essential debuffs for HYDRA clan boss. He has them both, but we really want everything on this dude, right? Even though he's got enemy max HP, which is capped 10% on his A2 ability, we still want attack, right? Because it scales off of attack as well and his A1. So we want to really build him with a lot of speed, a lot of crit rate, crit damage, obviously, but it's tough to get all that and accuracy on champions sometimes, especially depending on your gear, how long you've been playing. So I love that you can increase the accuracy for 3 turns on a 4-turn cooldown. It's great. The extra turn does strip away one of those turns as well, so keep that in mind. His passive, no foe too great. Increase this champion's max HP by 20% for each enemy killed or HYDRA head decapitated by this champion. Stacks up to 50,000. I love this because check out his base HP. It's pretty dang low. He's very squishy, but the 20% increase up to 50,000 extra HP, and newsflash, this dude's attacking so much because of the AoEs and the more AoEs and the enemy. He's gonna kill or decapitate a lot of freaking HYDRA heads, right? So we're gonna get that as the battle goes on, and some of these battles can be, the one I'm about to show you guys is gonna take an hour. I'm gonna cut, right? He'll be, you know, sitting really pretty by the end. You won't have to worry as much about his health and the duration of a longer battle. The reviews in game so far are very kind to this champion, as they ought to be. Spider's Den, campaign locations, HYDRA clan boss, for obvious reasons, and all of the above. Let's go ahead, and I actually want to start out by running him. I'm going to show you the build because I think that I think there's one superior build for this champion personally. But I will hear you guys out, right? You could go Relentless, you could go Lethal, you could go Savage, right? But I didn't go any of those routes. What route do you guys think I went? I think this dude was absolutely, or I should say Reflex, absolutely made for this dude, right? It reduced, excuse me, the random skill cooldown by 1 turn, 40% chance after its buff a year or two ago now. It feels like just yesterday, right? So why is Reflex so good? Obviously, you do run the risk that that cooldown could go to the A3 ability, but the nice thing about the A3 ability is even if it reduces this cooldown, it's also going to pop and reduce the cooldown of the A2 vis-a-vis the extra turn that you get from it, right? So the Reflex proc might go to the A2, where you get an enemy max HP times 2 hitter on a 2-turn cooldown, essentially, right? That's insane, or at least reduces the cooldown. And then or it might go to the A3, where you get this down to a 2-turn or whatever the heck, and you get an extra turn anyway, right? So I really, really love Reflex, generally speaking, especially on this champion. Moreover, the reason I don't want him in Relentless and I do want him in Reflex is because the extra turns, although they're always a nice thing, it's going to continuously strip buffs off of him, right? Not just these buffs, right? But every other buff that everybody else is putting on him, right? So one thing that I'm trying to do on all my Hydra Clan Boss teams, if I'm running a lot of champions in Reflex sets, in Relentless sets, a lot of extra turns, I'm really trying to incorporate a buff extender on all of those teams, right? So a Krisk or a Lady Mikage, whoever you have access to, there's a lot of them out there, right? I'm trying to bring one of those in just to mitigate all those extra turns, because sometimes, especially if you're going like full auto, sometimes you don't recognize how many turns how many buffs you're actually losing there. Anyway, so how do I have him built? To be a nuker, right? To be a fast nuker in Reflex gear. We have 245, 109, 232 on the crit rate, crit damage. His accuracy is super low, 224, but he does have that increased accuracy. It's still a bit too low, the accuracy. So I could just go in there and put an accuracy banner on him. I have an attack one right now with a trip speed. Really don't want to lose all that speed, but I will, TBD. I might change things around a little bit there. I do have a perception set. The fact that we have a perception set on this dude with a trip roll, 47 accuracy on the amulet, and he's still at 224, that's pretty rough. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. He does have attack on the ring as well. We could go more survivability, but we have a nice double roll of HP on that ring anyway. We have crit damage on the gauntlets, we have attack percentage on the chest, and we have speed on the boots. Masteries. I'm playing with fire here again, guys, because I did go Warmaster in defense tree. I went defense because I want to get retribution and I want to get deterrence. I want those counterattacks. I want those extra attacks with the A1 because it's AoE damage, right? Against Hydra Clan Boss. Why not? So I did go defense for that reason. Also can mitigate some damage with blast proof, help us out in the beginning of the battle before he's able to ramp up that HP on the passive. On the support side of things, I would obviously go with all the accuracy masteries. I would probably end with lasting gifts. I would definitely want to get a tier 5 lasting gifts. That way we can extend the duration of those buffs that he has on the A3 and hopefully, you know, last with the cooldowns. Anyway, on the offensive side of things, I came down and I picked up Warmaster, right? So for basically a Hydra Clan Boss build here, I do want to start out in the arena though. Why? Because it's a high elf. So some of you might know where I'm going here. I am a massive fan. I did a whole video on her, of Fina, Blade of Avaria. She's the faction lord, right? I recognize this is not a very relatable team for 99% of viewers right now, but I want to show this because I want to show you the beginnings of what could be a faction-oriented team, right? Now, this doesn't just apply to the arena. This can apply anywhere in the game, but I can definitely see a future where we see a lot more of this in Raid Shadow Legends. So if there's 4 high elves on the team, which isn't bad because there's 6 people on the Hydra, 6 champions on a Hydra team. So it gives you 2 flex spots, right? If you wanted to run a high elf Hydra team. And again, I'm not going to do that today. I'm going to run an arena team, but it's something that could happen like in the near future. And Fina, Blade of Avaria is definitely incredibly underrated right now. I mean, not a lot of people have her, but she's still a beast. If you have a full team here, increase attack, increase crit rate, increase crit damage on all allies, right? With an extra turn, with a cleanse, and the buffs are all protected on a 3-turn cooldown, right? But it's really this passive. Lead from the front. Whenever a buff is placed on an ally, fills their turn meter by 3%, okay? 1 faction ally, 25% more damage when attacking out of their turn, okay? 2 faction allies, whenever a buff is removed, stolen, or from an ally, or when it expires, fills their turn meter by 10%, amazing. And then 3 faction allies is where it all comes together. Allies will ignore 5% of target's defense for each buff on them. So if you have 10 buffs, quick math, that means you're ignoring 50% defense built in on top of a Savage, Helm Smash, or whatever. So we're running her with, him with Fina, Blade of Avaria in the arena in a blender comp. So you guys already know the ally attacker that we have on the team. There's only one, and his name is Loranithil. Why do I always say Loranithil? I'm so sorry. You guys must hate me even more than usual. Lana Therol. Loranithil? It sounds like some sort of medicine you take. Give him 40 milligrams of Loranithil. He's gonna need it. Loranithil, doc, give me the right meds. All right, he's got the ally attack, we know. Okay, so this is our team. We get Arbiter going into Fina, going into ally attack, and everybody's dead, hopefully, right? If all goes according to plan, and we might go second here, right? Okay, we go first, great. So check it out. Let me make myself a little bit smaller. I feel like I'm hogging all the camera space here. So we're gonna go with, obviously, the A3, because we get an extra turn, right? Look at all these protected buffs. It's beautiful to look at, isn't it? So we want to get as many buffs as humanly possible onto the man, the myth, the legend. So we're going to smack him up with all this stuff, right? And now we're going to ally attack right here. So here's his first AoE. Well, you could barely see it. It was off camera. But boom, I mean, there's so much ignore defense going on there. Now, with all that being said, I want to be clear here. I don't look at him as an arena beast, right? That A1 is just not hard hitting enough for him to even fit on most blender comps as a first option. Frankly, I'd probably rather have the sisters, you know? But in a team with Fina, with all that ignore defense, and he doesn't have Helm Smasher, he doesn't have Savage or Lethal, so we're leaving 50% ignore defense off the table here in this demonstration, right? But there's possibilities. There's possibilities. In the video that I did on these champions, I did it on... Okay, so not a ton of damage there, but here's the A2. No, well, we could go in with the... He already has increased attack, and I don't feel like we need the increased accuracy. Let's just go with the A2 right now, and then we can take the extra turn, right? On the next move and reduce the cooldown of the A2. That's his A1 on a counterattack. So she has counterattack on her A2. I didn't even show you guys. But counterattack on a champion with the AoE on the A1, like you're starting to see why I like this team so much, right? She has a single target. Fina has a single target counterattack. Now we can take the extra turn. We can come back in here. Our A2 is ready, of course, going against UDK. So bad affinity matchup there, but you guys get the point, right? Really fun, right? It's he's a cool champ. Now, I want to be clear here too. This dude is not limited to only HYDRA clan boss, right? That's where I'm most excited about him personally. But let's just pull him up on Hell Hades and see where they rank him. So a perfect 5 out of 5 rating on hellhades.com. Dude, I wasn't even expecting, I mean, I was expecting big, but 5 out of 5. He's one of like 20 champions they give a 5 out of 5 to in a game with almost 1,000 champions now. They give him a 5 out of 5 in Clan Boss, HYDRA, Doom Tower, Waves, Spider, Spider Hard, Dragon, Ice Golem, Frost Spider. I mean, he's an enemy max HP champion, right? His multipliers are a 2.5 on the AoE on the A1. That's actually not that bad. They do give it a weak overall grading though. It feels more like a 2 or a 1.5. You'll see it in a moment in HYDRA. He has a 1.5 on the A2 plus the 0.35 enemy max HP. It is a godlike damage rating in HYDRA. It scores a 27th in the game. I do want to be clear though, if you look at the enemy max HP ability, it is a 2-time hitter. Keep that in mind, but it's a 0.035. Where when we look at like a Royal Guard or a Husk, we're looking at 0.1. So basically 3 times-ish stronger on the enemy max HP of a normal AoE enemy max HP champion. So it's not hitting quite as hard as you might be anticipating. It's not an Acresia double AoE attack. As a matter of fact, Acresia has the same thing, 0.1 enemy max HP times 2. So Acresia is quite significantly stronger on her AoE enemy max HP. However, that's not going to mitigate his overall damage. Well, I guess it would technically, but it's still going to be, he's still a beast. He's still a beast. So yeah, guys, again, on Takedown on Royal Guard, we're looking at a 2 attack plus a 10th of an enemy max HP, which again is about 3-ish times as powerful as one of the hits of Wallmaster. I hope that makes sense. Anyway, let's go ahead and bring him into battle. We finally killed UDK. Let's go ahead and bring him into battle here, guys, on HYDRA Clan Boss, right? So keep in mind with HYDRA Clan Boss, I think you guys already probably know this, but it bears repeating, right? Is enemy max HP champions are best on Nightmare and Brutal, okay? Because they have so much more max HP, the HYDRA heads, right? Whereas we get to hard and normal, we would actually gravitate towards HP burn and instant activations and a little bit away from enemy max HP. Not to say that they can't still be effective enemy max HP champions, just that they're more effective on the more challenging stages. Now, if you can't get there yet, if you're just, you know, barely 1 king normal or whatever, 3 king, whatever the heck you're doing, might be, it doesn't, not going to matter. You're going to use this guy anywhere, right? So for that reason, we're going to go brutal, and I'm actually going to stick him on my brutal team. This is it. All right, guys, so here we go. Let's do it. I just want to make sure, do I have no better speed aura than Mighty Uko? I guess I don't. Let's see what he can do, right? Now, I'm going to come back to you guys at the end of this video. I'm going to cut, obviously, but let's just watch a few of his hits, right? Let's take it off. Let's take it. I have Cupidus and Venus on the same team, so I figured like a ton, and Mighty Uko, so I have so many AoEs on A1s that it's actually a shame. I should put like an Alaz Sunbearer or an ally attacker on this team instead of somebody, but it's just like, instead of who, right? This team feels pretty dang well balanced, if you ask me. Anyway, we get an extra turn here. There he goes. Boom. Went in with the A1 just there. Well, we have the fear. Let's see if we can go A2. Boom. So again, 64 AK or so damage times 2 hitter, right? Not as much as you might have been expecting. Now, keep in mind, there was no debuffs. So now we go in and again, boom, just popping off there. All right, let's go with some Provoke and Hex. So now we have all the debuffs on, right? And shame on me, I didn't even open with the A3. I was so eager to see the damage on the A2 that I didn't at least buff him. Ash, come on, bro. I almost want to restart, but let's just go with it. So here's the A3 is going to be a self-buffing move. Now we can come in with the A2 again. Now let's slow it down, check out the animation. Let's check out the damage. Now we actually have the debuffs up. So we're looking at 150 times 2 on every Hydra head, you know? It's pretty dang solid, right? And obviously he's going to be able to keep these buffs up a lot, you know? All right, let's go in with the A2 here. And let's give him like, you know, let's give him one more go round. I just loved the idea. I already mentioned it, but I love the idea of putting Cupidus, Venus, and Mighty Uko all on the same team with him and just have AoEs everywhere, right? We're looking at around 30k damage or so from that A1. So again, not super hard hitting, but hey, we have obviously Hex applied on everybody, so some damage sharing going on, and it's gonna add up a lot over time. Let's try that A2 one more time, and then I will just put it on full auto the entire battle, and we'll see how he does. All right, here we go. Now, I really screwed up things with his A3 by not doing it first, because now we're without the buffs. I almost feel like I should just restart. I will. Boom, there we go. Nah, whatever, who cares? Let's just run it. Let's just run it. All right, guys, not too bad. Let's see how he does at the end of this. I do want to point out, I have an empowered and fully awakened Cupidus on this team. I fully expect Cupidus, who's an absolute monster the way that I have him built, right? In Relentless Gear, by the way, with Venus on the same team, so he's counterattacking every time. Plus, he gets the damage bonus off his passive. So if we can even stay in the same stratosphere as my Cupidus, we will be good to go. Cupidus smacks the way that I have him built on this team. But so far, so good, I will say. And keep in mind, he's upping, he just decapitated a head or two. He's already upping his max HP as well, which is going to be helpful because we do have that revive turned off, but I'll try to keep an eye on things on the sidelines here. He does finally get back into the groove here. Anyway, I'm getting sucked in, man. I'm getting sucked in. I'll cut here. Let's see what this dude can do. Be right back. All right, guys, we are at the end of the battle. We have 434 million damage. Not too bad. And Othorion out-damaged Cupidus with Venus, fully awakened, as I said. That, to me, is absolutely crazy. I am not disappointed with these results. This number, 434 million, is insane on brutal difficulty. For me, at least, it's obviously nowhere near like record setting or anything like that. But I'm really happy with this team. You know, overall damage wise, and Othorion has really impressed me, guys. Let me know what you think of this champion. Thank you for watching till the end of the video. Much love. And as always, take care, guys.